Well, welcome back, everybody. This is the Paws and Purpose SPCA of Texas podcast. This is number 4, I believe, KJ. Is that right?
4, yeah.
That includes the pilot.
Including the pilot. That's we're getting a bunch of them under our belt here. I'm Paul Hyso.
I'm Mara Davies.
And I am KJ Eugene.
And we are so excited to have Tonja Thurman with us today on the podcast, everybody. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
We've been wanting you on the show since we started it. You were one of the first things we thought of because you're just so exciting. You're so fun to talk to, and you do so much here for the SPCA of Texas. Would you tell us your title and what it is your job entails here at the SPCA?
Yes, indeed. I'm the Community Impact Manager here at the SPCA of Texas, and what that means is that I impact the community daily. So I head up, there's 2 of us in our department, and we help the community with anything they need for their pets, and we're starting to open up and help people in general, even without their pets needing help. But our main purpose is to help people take care of their pets. And we do that by providing free pet food. We have pet food pantries every Tuesday from 1 to 3. And every 3rd Sunday from 9 to 11. Of course, the times may change, so keep an eye on our website. We also help people with medical costs, the vet costs for their pets. Sometimes, all the times, hopefully, pets need vaccinations. They need to be spayed and neutered, and people need help taking care of those services. So we can help out with that. We can also help out with pet deposits if you're moving, boarding if you're in a situation where you're in between places and need some help with your pet. We're just here for anything.
That's awesome.
And so in your role, you're like a direct line to the community, right?
Yes.
What about your role fulfills you the most?
Being able to help people is so important. Feeling what others feel, being empathetic, listening. A lot of listening goes on because if you listen to people, you'll learn it's not just the pets. There's other things in life that's going on with them, and they need somebody to hear them and to be able to offer assistance any way we can. Like I say, it's not just with the animal supplies, but we have resources for people supplies as well. So it is very fulfilling for me every single day just to get out there in the community, listen to what everybody needs, and help the best way we can.
It's awesome. And to listeners and viewers, I just want to warn you, the SPCA of Texas is a very busy place. There's lots of things going on here every day. And if you may be able to hear next door to us, there's an activity going on, and we're all trying to not pay attention to it, but you might hear it. So we apologize.
But it's cool.
It's so
There's a blender.
It's a blender. It's creating enrichment for the animals in the shelter, and this is a working animal shelter.
Absolutely.
And so it's amazing we don't have animals like running through this room. Actually.
Hey, we could have arranged that.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
And as a testament to your dedication to animals, you also have a nonprofit called Fanged Out.
Fanged Out, yes.
So what's the mission of Fanged Out?
My mission is to, number one, help people take care of their pets to the best of their ability. Sometimes you'll go into pet stores and their main agenda is to make money. They're going to sell you whatever. A lot of items in the pet stores are not specifically made for specific pets, and they're not quite, the safety measures are not there, what have you. So my main goal with Fanged Out Animal Rescue and Outreach is to educate, teach people how to properly take care of whatever species of animal that they have, whether it's a snake, spiders, bugs, mammals, birds, anything. I'm here to help and educate. I love to go out in the community. I go out to underserved communities and teach about animals because a lot of those communities, they've never seen a lot of the animals that I have.
Right.
So I love to go out there and teach our community about these animals. And a lot of these younger people actually want to work with animals, and they think that they can't because of their situation at home, or they don't see a lot of people that look like them that are working with animals. So it's really, really wonderful when I walk into a room And all these kids are like super excited because I walk in with a snake and they're like, oh my goodness, it's a black lady. She looks like me. Seriously, I get that a lot. And it motivates them to learn all they can about exotics and do what they have to do to get where I am right now. So, yes.
It's awesome.
Love it, love it.
Now, you have so many animal tattoos, right? Can you tell us about your tattoos? Just tell us about them.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah, there's a few.
That's very cool.
I do have over 50 tattoos, and all of them are portraits of animals that I have worked with. I've had a very lengthy career. I started at Little Rock Zoo in 19 something. And I
that date well.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Date doesn't matter. Date doesn't.
But I retired from the Dallas Zoo actually in 2019. I hung up my zookeeping hat then, but I was able to work with a lot of different species, and I learned about them. I loved them. I taught about them, and there were specific animals that left their footprints on my heart. And of course, I got a tattoo of them, so they're with me always.
Do you have a favorite or a couple of favorites?
Ooh, oh goodness.
Can you tell us why they would be your favorite?
One of my favorites, definitely, an East African crown crane. Her name is Tyrone. We used to fly her over the savannas at the Dallas Zoo.
Oh, cool.
The most beautiful experience you will ever see, because this bird has a wingspan of about 6 feet.
Wow.
Just wonderful, wonderful birds to work with. Also, there's a little trumpeter hornbill that stole my heart as well, named Fitzgerald. Absolutely one of my favorites. He flew over the savannas as well. And we would do grape tosses because they'll catch like insects and stuff in the air while they're flying. And we do a grape toss, and he can catch it and then land on our hand.
I bet people love that.
Yes. And just educating people about these animals. And of course, there's a few reptiles that grab my heart as well. Mahabo, a big Dumerals ground boa, was very temperamental. Yeah, but he was big and beautiful. So it's hard to say any favorites because they all...
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I had to ask.
I just can't. That's like asking which one's your favorite child. You don't answer those questions.
Well, Tonja, I have a personal story. I mean, I've been here about a year at the SPCA Texas, and I remember one of the first interactions I had with you, I think it was my first day or second day, is you had these 2 little tiny possums.
Oh, that's right.
And they were the cutest thing. I was like, when I and just getting to know my colleagues and where I was, and then you show up like with these 2 possums, and I thought, this is the place I am so in the right place.
I get that feeling.
I was like, I'm in the right place because you had these little sweet guys with you, and you were so kind to like show me, don't be cool with them because they're a little small, but you were so cool to do that. And then you brought your snake in after that. I guess knowing those kind of things and seeing how you are, and your affinity for animals like that. What do you tell somebody who says, I want to go get a big snake for a pet? What do you tell them? What do you tell them to think about before they make that purchase?
Woo!
Or before they decide to go down that road? What do you say from an expert?
Yes, I say a whole lot. I say, let's sit down and discuss this first. First and foremost, have you done your research about this specific species of snake? Second of all, do you have the money? A lot of people don't realize that reptiles, it's oh my goodness, the amount of money you spend on the proper habitat for them. You've got UV, you've got heat, you've got substrate, you have to feed them. Frozen mice and chicks are not cheap. So that is really my first thing I talk about is the cost involved. And you have to you want your animals not to just survive, but they need to thrive. They need to have everything that they need to have, not just the basics. Sure. They need enough space and everything. And that's the biggest thing. You have to have a habitat that's big enough for them.
Absolutely.
So that is the first thing. And then I talk about the temperament of the species or what have you. Talk about if you live with someone else, how are they going to feel about these animals being in your house? Because I admit, my oldest daughter was not happy. And as soon as she was ready to move out and she had her things together, she was out of there.
Gone.
She was out of there. She said, Mama, you have too many snakes in here. I said, well, you're grown. You can go.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Right.
And you love snakes so much, but what? I mean, they're like, I'm sorry. They are always like compared to evil. Like snakes are always considered to be this evil thing. Why do you think that is? Like, where does that even come from? Like,
that is true, and sadly, it comes from, I believe, the Bible. A lot of people, Christianity thing, I guess. The Bible, it's portrayed that Satan was the snake or what have you. And even nowadays, people say, oh, you're a snake in the grass or what have you. And if anybody tells me that, I'm like, wow, so I'm beneficial to the environment,
Right. Yeah.
So I'm helping to keep infection down by, eating rats or what have you.
Totally.
But it comes from, I think, the Bible.
How do you feel about it,
passed. I think it's, oh goodness, the world today is very strange, and it has been, and I feel like it's unfair because nothing is really evil, really, especially when you're looking at animals who are out here just trying to live just like we are. We've taken up a lot of their spaces by building houses, and we've destroyed natural habitats and what have you. But you know what? A snake is out there. He's going to mind his own business. He needs to eat, and he's not trying to eat us. And there is nothing sneaky about a snake. I mean, they're there, and we know they're there. A lot of people don't realize they're probably in your backyard. You just never see them. They're all around. But they are not evil. There's no evil animal. Mosquitoes,
Maybe a little bit.
they're not evil.
Mosquitoes are food. For
They
others.
are food.
True.
Exactly. We need them.
Yeah.
We need those flies, for the chameleons and the lizards. We need every animal here. They all have their space
True.
alongside us. We can all, live together and cohabitate on this earth.
True.
So, snakes really get a bad rap because they're considered evil.
We need to come up with some other alternate slogans, like shimmer like a snake, if you want to play on the alliteration.
Yes.
But then I'm thinking, well, wait a second. A lot of snakes probably aren't trying to shimmer.
I do have one that does a sunbeam snake. She's iridescent and just gorgeous. So,
You showed me pictures. She's
Yes,
gorgeous.
yes.
Oh my
Cool.
gosh.
yes.
Well, I know all of this came from somewhere, and I want to take it back to your childhood a little bit. Not to get Tonja, this is your life, but tell us about. Was there something that inspired you as a kiddo? Did you get inspired later in life? Where did you pick up this love for the exotics?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, it all came from my daddy.
Cool.
My dad. Ever since I can remember, y'all, seriously, we had 2 or 3 acres when I was younger. Like I say, since I can remember, my dad's always had dogs. We were surrounded by dogs, and they were hunting dogs because we used to go hunting for squirrel, rabbit, and deer. That would feed us.
Yeah.
We would hunt for food. This is not trophy hunting. This is not just killing just to kill. This is for food. We went
Staying
hunting.
alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my daddy taught me how to train the hunting dogs. And I remember I was probably 5 years old in the woods with all these beagles. And we had so many beagles, and they would just howl. And he taught me how to train them to come back to us after they go, do the hunting and all that kind of good stuff. And back at home, we had chickens, we had ducks, goats, pigs. We had some of everything. And, back then, you vaccinated your animals yourself. You didn't, go to the vet for everything like that. You did everything at home, and he taught me how to do all those things. Had a healthy respect for all animals. We had a lot of venomous snakes around as well. And my dad taught me, he said, you don't need to do anything to them. Let them go their way. They're not going to stay here and party with you. Just let them go your way. And my mom, on the other hand, because I took after my daddy, and I'd find an injured duck outside or what have you, and I'd bring it in the house, and I'd constantly hear, get that animal out of this house. So my mama was a little different, and even to this day, she won't even come over to my house because the snakes and everything.
Yeah.
But my dad taught me to respect and love each and every species. I was at the zoo every weekend. He took me out there. My mom was there, but she was just like, oh, it's a nice day out. I'm just here with the family.
Yeah.
So took me to the zoo. He would set up encounters for me. And when I was 15, I started volunteering at the Little Rock Zoo. And I've just, ever since. So ever since I was little.
That's awesome. Well, and you also have a huge heart for people, and that's really important too, because in the animal world, people and animals are always going to be there. And you're talking about your dad and teaching you respect for animals. It sounds like we got healthy respect for just about everybody from
Indeed.
that same kind of thing. But I want to point out that that's a really big thing, and I see that shine through you all the time. Is your love for people also?
Yes. Yeah. You have to. Y'all, we're in this together. All of us. All of us, and we all have to help each other. We may have differences, but at the end of the day, we're all here together. We're all trying to get through. We're all trying to make it. Let's help each other. Don't stomp each other in the ground. Let's help each other, lift each other up, whether it's words of encouragement or if you need help, with food or what have you. Let's all help each other.
Well, and Tonja, just on a practical side of that, what would, if someone watching this or heard about the podcast and heard that that's what you've offered and what we offer here, how do you tell them to take action on that? Do they just need to call? Do they come? Should they look for the pet pantry? What should someone do to take action to utilize the help and services that you provide?
You can call the SPCA, which I don't know the number because I never call here.
Main number.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right back there.
There it is. Look, 214-742-7722. You can give us a call there, or you can email us at helpmypet@spca.org. You can just walk in. We're usually here 7 days a week unless we're here all the time. Someone will be here. So you can just walk in, email, call, whatever you need to do, smoke signal. We're here to help.
That's awesome.
And then on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 here at 2400 Lone Star Drive, right?
Yes, indeed.
Well, and the third Sunday.
Third Sunday of the month. We won't have one this month because we're having a big event on the 8th. Saturday the 8th in Garland. You can check out our website to see it, but it's our DFW Pets Are Family event. We're going to have free vaccinations out there, free microchips, free food. So come on out. Like I said, check out the website.
And we have those frequently. So those happen all the time. The pantries, all of that's going to be online. That's going to be at spca.org/calendar. So you can always go there. So for our pet pantries, those drive-through pet pantries, we do ask that people register.
Yes,
and so that's going to be really important to register online. But for the Tuesdays, just walk on in.
Just come on down.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Go for it.
So let's see. So you dedicate your time here at the SPCA to animals. You do in your personal life, dedicate your time to animals, and through Fanged Out Animal Research. And I'm sorry, how do you say it?
Fanged Out Animal Rescue and Outreach.
Yes. And speaking of Fanged Out, do you recognize this picture?
Oh my!
That is so cool.
Hold that up, KJ, so the camera get a good shot of
I
that.
love that.
So my question here, can you tell us a little bit about this character?
Yes, I can.
Would you like to hold it?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Right up here is the camera.
It's really, really cool.
So, wow, that's another little element of my life. I love anything horror related, so I am a scare actor as well. That character right there is Sanguivore. That is her name. And if you guys don't know what Sanguivore is, it's an animal that lives off blood. So bats are sanguivores. Yes. So that
New
is
word.
mosquitoes. Sanguivores.
Awesome.
Yes.
New word today. That's great. Yeah, I never heard that before. That's awesome.
That was a surprise. I was like,
Who's the little snake in that photo?
That is actually Lightning. Lightning came into my rescue about 4 years ago. And Lightning did pass away this past October. Had a very large mass in his belly. That's the hard part about running a rescue, is that you don't know these animals' history. Lightning was a morph. when people breed animals and they're getting these different morphs, you also get different diseases and ailments that you didn't think, you don't think about. So he is a morph. I didn't have his history or anything, but yes, he passed away after 4 years with me, but he had 4 wonderful years. Yeah.
What would his
sorry,
normal
Reynolds.
lifespan have been?
About 40 years for a ball
wow.
python.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know how old he was when he came in. I knew he was an adult, but I didn't know exactly how old. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you do so much for so many animals, so many people. I love hearing all about it, your stories out in the community, working with people. You've told us about a couple of animals that really captured your heart from all different time periods in your life. Is there anything that you haven't gotten to do regarding either exotic animals or even domesticated animals that you'd like to do that you haven't, or any animal that you'd like to care for if the chance arises that you're just like, oh, it'd really be cool if I could care for this animal?
Great question.
That is a really good question, and I hope you understand my answer, because not a lot of people can actually say this, but I've done so much that if I were to pass away today, I would be happy. I have worked with the most wonderful people, the most wonderful animals. I've worked with hundreds of different species of animals, and I am happy where I am right now. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, helping people, helping animals, but personally, there is nothing else I would want to do except win the lottery, and then I could open a huge shelter for people and animals.
Right.
All of
Ultimate
that is a
goal.
perfect answer.
Yes,
cool is that?
that's the
No
ultimate
kidding.
goal. I want just 20 acres to just build a massive compound and help all our houseless peers and all the animals, and just live together happily.
That
Could
sounds
be
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
but other than that, I'm just here until that happens.
Sounds great.
On that same in that same vein, what's the most exotic sort of kind of animal that you went, whoa, that you had to take care of that you'd never taken care of before? Is there something really nutty you were like, oh no, I don't know how to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway?
Well,
Was it one
Or
of-
let me learn.
Yeah.
It's funny because the East African crown cranes, okay, they are very big birds. And I used to watch them all the time and be in awe that, this bird is so large and can perch up in a tree. Just learning that. But yeah, the cranes, that was a dream for me. It really was. And I know birds are my thing. I love birds. I love all
Yeah,
animals.
it's interesting.
I knew about animals, but
Birds of
interesting.
prey, the cranes, the trumpeter hornbill, eagles. I worked with an eagle way
they're
back.
so cool, aren't they?
Very heavy.
Are they really?
Yes, when you glove them and have to hold them up and
gosh, I
educate
bet.
about them, very heavy.
Big claws?
But big claws.
Like a hand almost, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, those cranes, that would be probably one of the most exciting experiences of my life was flying them over the savannas.
Well, you said you talked about watching them fly and have that big wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
In my neighborhood, we have those turkey buzzards. You know what I'm talking about?
Turkey vultures,
Turkey
yeah.
vultures, yeah. And they will fly up on people's roofs
Mm-hmm.
and just sit there and eat their stuff. And there was a gaggle of them one day. I was driving home, and I'm like, "What in the world is this?" I thought it was some kind of gang walking down the street.
Yeah.
And these guys were huge. And then I got up
Yes.
close to them, and it was like.
Yes. They are beautiful.
They were awesome. And I just stopped and just watched them, and they just kind of set up on this dude's roof and looked around.
Yeah.
And I thought that it blew me away. I'd never seen a bird that large
Yes,
before.
I've got a lot of black vultures around my house, and they will sit actually on my house. It's so funny because everybody's like, they don't come to our house.
You're like, they know where the friendly people to them
Yeah,
are.
no, seriously.
They know where the lovers are. They know where the lovers are.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
perch on my house,
This
and
lady here,
I
she
love
loves us.
vultures.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
amazing.
Owls in my backyard. I've got coyotes and everything. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like
awesome.
love wildlife.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, you're in your job here. You're in the perfect spot. Then can you say? I mean, you said you worked at the zoo before. Can you? How's it different here than the zoo? I mean, obviously without the obvious things, but I mean, there should have been some similarities and probably a lot of things that were different, right? I mean,
a lot of different things. You know, we don't have code reds here. You know, if a dog actually gets out, it's not a code red.
It's loose dog.
It's loose dog.
What's the difference between code red and loose dog, though?
So code red is for dangerous animals. Then we have code blue. That was an animal that was not so dangerous, like if a bird got out or something. But if a lion got out or what have you, that's a code red.
did that ever happen while you were there? Did you ever have some?
Well,
escapees?
this has been great talking to y'all.
Oh, I see.
It can be hard.
Yeah.
But here it's a loose dog. Everyone
dog.
gets together. Everyone kind of positions himself around where it is, and everyone like instantly. That's one thing that I love. Well, I don't love it when dogs get loose, obviously, but it doesn't happen that frequently.
Yeah.
But everyone drops, knows what to do. There's
Right.
training here that happens that we know how to collectively as an organization. We all know how to pitch in,
Yes.
and any other situation that may arise. And that just may not be something that people out there know about. That there are so many different things here that not just certain teams train for, but multiple teams are trained on as part of onboarding.
Oh, yeah.
That you need to have.
Yes.
Because we need to be able to respond to, care for, protect all the animals here at the shelter too.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I mean that there's a huge difference between that, but I think KJ and I while we were researching, you saw some footage of you on a game show when you worked and just had such a good time watching you on there because you were so
awesome.
good at it. You were so good. We were just blown away. I was like, we got to get her on the podcast. She's going to be
goodness.
fantastic. You're just a people person.
And thank you for coming and talking to us.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for inviting me. I'm sorry I was a disappointment, but
You are not. Are you kidding?
I think we need to edit that part out.
Yes.
Your love for animals is clear, and that's all we could ask for.
Yeah, we've been looking
sure.
forward to this forever. Like I said, I mean, I'm sure Mara and KJ both have memories of you, but that memory of you with those two little guys when I started, which I hate to, I'm not overplaying it, but it really was a sweet memory for me because it was like, this is real. I felt so good that's just, with, like you said, this world is nuts now. And with everything going on around, just to see you hold these two little guys, they're completely helpless, just kind of washed that all away for me.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. And I'm just so glad to be working with you and my two partners here. And it's just a great place to be. And so glad that you're a part of it too.
Well,
Yes.
thank you. I do want to add that I am sub-permitted for those opossums. So, yes, when people do find wildlife, they can bring them here, and I am sub-permitted to take care of them and get them to a wildlife facility.
That's
So,
really
yes,
important.
it is very important because people should not be handling these animals unless they are permitted or sub-permitted. So, I do want to add that. I do have my sub-permit.
No, that is really important because otherwise, if that's actually a good piece of information to share, probably before we wrap up. If somebody finds like little baby opossums, like there was one time somebody said, "Oh, I found an opossum and it's sleeping and it's in the daytime." I said, "Well, you've heard about possums playing possum. you probably just shocked them or scared them." And I said, "Just wait an hour, go inside." And she said later, "Oh yeah, the possum was gone, no babies." But I know there are times the mama might not.
Right.
She might have had something traumatic happen to her, and babies are left. Not just possums, but other animals. What should you do if you find an animal that you're just like, I have, like baby bunnies or
Yes.
possums? Like, what should people do?
'Tis the season for baby bunnies. The calls are coming in already. For bunnies, a lot of people don't realize that the mama will go away during the daytime. Mama only comes back at nighttime to the nest and everything. So it's best to leave that nest undisturbed if you can. If you see that, keep all your pets away from it, of course. Keep dogs away and inside if you can. But if you have to get wildlife, you can put them in a box, keep them nice and warm, and contact a local rehabber. You can Google those, or North Texas Wildlife Center is a very good resource for you. But
They have a great webpage that you can
Yes.
kind of see. Here's like step by step, kind of what you're saying.
yes, indeed.
And speaking, do you have a webpage for Fanged Out?
I do not.
You do not. Okay.
One woman.
Oh, yes.
Lot to do.
Just to make sure people out there know, like there are going to be maybe baby bunnies, baby possums, other babies, other wildlife that people may come across if they're in danger in some way, if they seem injured. I wanted to make sure to ask you, Tonja, what should people do? Because a lot of people find these little ones and they kind of freak out and think, oh my gosh, what happens?
Yes.
What should they do?
Yes. Assess the situation first. Keep any pets away from the area if you can. Also, look for a mama. If you're seeing babies, look around for the mamas. Like with bunny rabbits, mamas will come in the evening, dusk and dawn. That's when mama shows up and goes away. So the babies will be left there all day by themselves. If there is no immediate danger, then just leave the bunnies there, let nature do its thing, and mama will more than likely come back. But if you see that mama's been injured, she's not coming back, and you have those babies, then please put them in a box, keep them quiet, warm, away from other animals, and contact your local rehabber, in which you can Google those. You can contact North Texas Wildlife Center. They are a very good resource. If you go on their webpage, they'll give you other resources close to you. It depends on what kind of animals you're finding. You'll find a lot of baby opossums and what have you. Baby squirrels this time of year falling out of trees, or people are cutting trees down and not realizing there are nests there. And most of the time, if that tree is even down, the mama will come back at some point to get her babies. Their animals are really good mothers to their babies. So assess the situation. If you need help, go online, North Texas Wildlife Center.
They have a great website. It's like, so people can see, it's kind of comforting.
Yes.
And it gives you similar information, but still.
Yes, and step by step.
Yeah.
Go
and
online
which is
and step by
important.
step.
Yeah,
Yes.
to see it. Well, and your Fanged Out Rescue is on social media?
Yes, Facebook and Instagram under Fanged Out Animal Rescue and Outreach.
Awesome.
Love it.
And there's that beautiful picture of me.
I love it.
No, yeah, one more time. Let's see that one more time.
And like you said, you're one woman. You're doing as much as you can. You're
Yes,
doing
I
more
am.
than almost everybody I know.
Well, and what you do is impressive, and I think everybody in here, has that same level of respect and love for you for what you do, not only here but outside and for people, because we've seen the way you impacted people, and that means a lot, I think, to them, and obviously to us and the organization. So thank you so much for being with us here today. This is the funnest one so far. I mean, we've had a blast. We got a
Blenders,
carnival going
we got a
next
party.
door. But that's just what it is. It's been fun, and Tonja, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
It was
Please come
fun.
back. We'll have you on again sometime. We'd love to, something.
With an animal.
Absolutely, even better.
Maybe a
Even
costume
better.
too.
Well,
Oh, goodness.
thanks for being with us again for the Paws and Purpose, the SPCA of Texas podcast. Stay with us. We'll come at you very soon with another episode. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Bye.